As evening drew close on October 13th, 2022, the community of Raleigh, North Carolina, was about to make headlines for something that wasn't a familiar occurrence within the city. Raleigh, as of 2022, was ranked as one of the safest cities in the United States of America, given its low violent crime statistics. It's 43% safer to live there than anywhere else in the country. Take that information and do with it as you will. With that being said then, the events that were about to unfold on October 13th would bring this relatively safe city to a standstill, and residents would be put on high alert after an active shooter would open fire at random, going on to take multiple lives. At roughly 5:09 p.m, the Emergency Communication Center received a call that multiple shots had been fired by a boy no older than 16 years old in the vicinity of a golf course in the Hendingham neighbourhood, Raleigh, North Carolina. Soon after, officers were dispatched to the area, expecting that an isolated shooting event had just occurred. However, only moments later, additional calls started to make their way through, and it was clear that something bigger was on the horizon. Although at that moment, to police, it wasn't clear if these multiple calls were connected. A crime scene spanning 2 miles, leaving 5 dead and 2 injured, 1 critically, was the eventual outcome of said shooting, for reasons that months on are still currently unknown. Roughly 10 minutes prior to that initial call being made, 16-year-old James Thompson, along with his 15-year-old brother Austin, were at their home address in the Hendingham neighbourhood. At this moment in time, it isn't clear what the boys were up to that day, but when 5 p.m. swung around, it's believed that Austin armed himself with a shotgun, handgun, and hunting knife ready to kill. Police are still attempting to make sense of the moments leading up to that point, because whatever happened, it led to Austin using those weapons on his brother. He would be the last victim to be found by police. He was stabbed and shot, although they say he was the first one to be killed. James would have turned 17 in January of 2023. A junior at Knightdale High School, his family said that he enjoyed deep-sea fishing and video games. He was a frequent visitor to his local church and was overall a good kid who kept himself out of trouble. He would sadly die at the hands of his brother. We don't have any background information about Austin other than neighbours claimed he was a bit odd, walking the streets at 5 a.m. with his book bag ready for school, although the buses didn't start running until 7 a.m. Shortly after killing his brother, Austin made his way out of the house and headed up the street, where he came across his neighbours, 52-year-old Nicole Connors and at the time 59-year-old Michelle Gardner. The pair had been to the local Red Lobster to celebrate Michelle's upcoming 60th birthday. When arriving back at Nicole's, the pair engaged in a brief chat before Nicole waved Michelle off home. As she made the walk down the driveway, Austin approached and opened fire on the pair, along with Nicole's Jack Russell dog, Sammy. All 3 were hit.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's the location of your emergency?
I was just, Mom and I are at home and we heard some shots outside, and I looked out my window and the neighbor is on the ground, I think.
What's the address?
My address is the Haley Way.
Wait, what is it?
The Haley Way. It's in Hedingham.
Okay, is he on Osprey Cove? Because I see a call for on Osprey Cove. Is he on Osprey Cove, or is he on someone?
She's on the corner. No, it's the Haley Way. And she's laying on the floor of the bush. On the bush. Is somebody on the porch too? Somebody on the porch? There's 2 people. There's somebody laying by the bush and there's somebody laying on the porch. Okay. I didn't see the person on the porch. Oh my gosh, it's 2 people.
Did you see anybody running or shooting or anything?
No, we just heard it. We heard the shots and we heard them screaming.
Nicole had been waiting for her husband to arrive back home. He went to grab some lunch after missing out on the meal because of work, and he had to grab a light bulb for the porch. He would sadly never see Nicole or his dog Sammy alive again. According to her husband Tracy, he and Nicole loved to explore Raleigh's restaurant scene, and the pair were also Marvel fanatics. They were due to go and watch the new Black Panther movie that dropped in November of 2022, but sadly Nicole would never be able to view it because she would later die in hospital. A kind soul, she had left her job in human resources to care for her mother full time after she had a stroke. Anything that had to be done, She was going to do it, and she was going to make sure it was done right. Although Nicole and Sammy were sadly shot dead, Masil survived the ordeal.
One of the survivors of the Raleigh mass shooting is back up and walking. Today, a new update on a GoFundMe page for Lynn Gardner's recovery reads, she has been able to walk independently with a cane, which is a big cause for celebration. The post asks for prayers as Gardner goes into surgery tomorrow. We're told the surgery is a big step toward her discharge from the hospital. Gardner was critically injured in last month's shooting. 5 people died. A 15-year-old is in custody.
Just over the golf course that separates 2 sections of the neighbourhood lies Osprey Cove Drive. This was the direction Austin headed in. Shortly after gunning down Nicole and injuring Masil, Austin came across off-duty police officer 29-year-old Gabriel Torres, who was sitting in his personal vehicle getting ready to make his way towards work. Once Gabriel was in Austin's sight, he opened fire.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Hey, Osprey Cove Drive.
Osprey Cove Drive?
And that white girl just came through with a shotgun and shot my buddy. Get here ASAP.
Yes, sir. We're going to go ahead and get some help out there. You said he's been shot?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said it was with a shotgun?
Yeah.
What kind of vehicle was he in?
3036, he was walking with camera on. He went back to the News River Trail.
All right, we're getting everyone out there as quick as we can.
Osprey Cove is the officer. He works for y'all. He works for y'all.
You said it's an officer?
Yeah, he's an officer. Hurry up, please. Officer. We need to go out here ASAP.
We're getting officers out there as quick as we can. What is he wearing?
It's a white car.
You said he's in a white car. What is he wearing?
Yeah. He's in a cul-de-sac. Please.
Okay, listen to me. What kind of clothing is he wearing?
The shooter? He's on camo. The shooter
He's
has
wearing.
on all camo. He's on camo.
Is he white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
He looks like he's like 16. I'm sure he was about probably.
Okay, we're getting help out there right now, okay? Are you with the person who's been shot?
Yeah.
Did you say the attacker's still nearby?
Yeah, he's on the News River Trail. Hey, just take the baby in the house.
Just a moment.
He's in our camo with a shotgun.
How many people have been shot?
One officer.
Okay.
One officer was shot.
An officer was shot?
Yeah, he's an off-duty cop. I keep trying to say he works for Raleigh. Yeah, he just walked right through and shot him. Shot him for no reason. Oh, he's not here. Yeah.
Are they there?
Active shooter.
Is the victim responding normally?
No.
Is he with Raleigh Police, sir? You said he's with Raleigh Police?
No, he's with Cat. Oh my God.
We're getting them out there right now.
Oh my God. It looks like he's bleeding from his chest.
In 2016, Gabriel had joined the Marine Corps. He had no path in life and said he wanted something to be proud of. After finding his calling in life, he married his longtime girlfriend, Jasmine, in 2018. But although he wasn't around as much due to his military deployment, she stood by him. After serving his time in the military, the couple decided to relocate to Raleigh, where Gabriel worked diligently to become a police officer. He was so dedicated to work, Jasmine had to beg him to take time off. She was proud of him. Despite a lifetime of loving each other at a distance, this new distance is one that Jasmine and their young daughter will struggle with for the rest of their lives after Gabriel would succumb to his injuries at hospital.
My Gabriel. We were no strangers of distance. Our story revolved around distance. Every chapter of our lives together brought us distance. But this distance, this new distance, this one I will struggle with for the rest of my life. Yeah. In September of 2014, we first met and started dating. We lived an hour away from each other. We'd drive almost every day or every other day, Newark, New Jersey to Jackson, New Jersey, and vice versa. We loved each other with towns and cities between us. It was a challenge it was, but we got through it. In 2016, 2 years into dating, you shared with me how you wanted more for your life. You wanted something to be proud of. You wanted to be able to provide for me and a future family. You joined the Marine Corps. We continued to love each other from states away. A challenge that was, but we got through it. 2 years later, on June 2nd, 2018, we got married. And that meant we could finally be together. I quickly packed up all my things and moved to Jacksonville, North Carolina. What I didn't know is just 2 months into living together, you would have to go away for some NATO training exercise that would last 2 months. Again, we got through it. Some months later, early April of 2019, you deployed. Again, we got through it. In August 2020, 2 years into our marriage, we had a beautiful baby girl, Layla. Oh, Gabe, I cannot thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to be a mommy.
34-year-old Mary Marshall had been walking her dog Scruff down the Neuse River Greenway Trail when she could hear gunshots coming from the local neighbourhood. Panicked, she contacted her fiancé, Rob.
"I'm walking the dog. He slipped his collar. I'm hearing these gunshots. Can you meet me back home as soon as you can?"
Sadly, that's the last conversation she'd ever have with him. Austin shot Mary dead on the trail. Scruff managed to avoid the same fate after slipping the collar. Mary had previously served in the Navy but had moved back to the Raleigh area in 2019. She loved to go to the beach and made frequent trips to Disney World. Mary and Rob were due to get married on October 29th, 2022, just over 2 weeks from when she was murdered. Sadly, that ceremony would never take place. Instead of the wedding, Rob, family and friends decided that they wanted to dedicate the day to celebrating Mary's life.
Gathered under overcast skies at Dix Park to mourn Mary Marshall. She's one of 5 people killed during the Raleigh mass shooting. This memorial, attended by friends, family, co-workers, and some who never met her, came on what would have been her wedding day. Her fiancé, Robert Steele, told them,
"When Mary laughed, you couldn't miss it. You heard it on the other side of the house. And her laugh was infectious. It made everybody else laugh, too."
He is the first of many who shared memories and words of comfort about the Navy veteran. Some shed tears, others shared stories about her positive attitude.
Mary was and still is a beacon of light all around us. Whether she was screaming from a spider or cackling because she successfully scared someone, Mary did everything with gusto. So I leave you with this today. Don't let Mary down. When you're sad, cry. When you're happy or excited, do your best to Mary cackle. And when you need to give it to someone straight, do so with the boldness that only Mary could pull off.
And her sister spoke for many when she said,
"She wouldn't want us to be sad for too long. She'd tell you to take today, get it out, move on. She wanted you to live your life and to love it."
That love reflected in this message to the mourners from her fiancé.
She was one of the best people I have ever met in my life. And for the rest of my life, I intend to live up to her having chosen me.
49-year-old Susan Canat had been 5 miles deep into her 7-mile daily jog down the Neuse River Greenway Trail when she came face to face with Austin. With her headphones more than likely in, she was probably none the wiser as to the monster that was heading in her direction. She, just like Mary, was shot dead along the trail path. She was the last person to be killed, although wasn't the last victim. Susan had been a school psychologist before pausing to homeschool her 3 sons, which had brought her joy, purpose and fulfillment that she had been looking for. After studying and working for all those years, an empty void was still present. By homeschooling her sons, that empty void was filled. After shooting 6 people, leaving 5 of them dead and 1 injured, Austin made his way towards the Northern Wake Expressway, roughly 2 miles away. By this point, police had set up multiple crime scenes, but there was still no sign of a shooter, although an image taken by a bystander had been circulating around the department. With the help of canines, Austin was tracked down to a barn about 2 hours later. It isn't clear how long he was in this position and what his intentions were moving forward, but from the body cam footage you're about to witness, he wasn't going to go down without a fight.
We are. Are we anywhere near Old Mill Bernie? Yeah.
So he was doing that sit pull thing, and he picked up intensity here. I downed him here because we got all these buildings.
Well, if I had to guess where all those cars are, that's probably Old Mill Bernie, so we're probably not far off.
What do y'all want to do?
Guys are getting a little tired, but we got to at least keep walking. Because right now, if he's walking, he's beating
We're
us.
on a track. Oh, yeah. Y'all good track. We just don't want to get...
Yeah, like, let's push.
Yeah. Y'all want to clear those buildings, then we can...
Up your track? No. Try to stay close to the pickup cover. Pickup cover? Gotcha. Hey, y'all just try to stay in like one kind of under once we cross, once we clear these buildings. Yeah. Oh yeah, here. It's me. Good here, long. Shit!
Got gunshots in the woods, guys. Cover!
Easy!
If you look on the AVL, K913 vehicle is directly south, north of where K9 went in. Further south of K9 vehicle.
See him? No!
There's a property with a pond and a water post behind that. It's going to be in the fields. There's horse fields over here. Start sending EMS up. Mill Bernie. In a 440, haven't stayed. Also struck in the leg. 10-4 Mill Bernie in your 440.
Where the fuck?
Where's the shot from? Inside the garage.
Hey, he might be prone behind that.
Hey, all units hold traffic. All units hold traffic. Hey, the guys that are out here with shots fired, what do y'all got in there in front of the barn?
Anybody got a flash?
No.
There's somebody in this, you please represent. Hey, I'm going to coordinate EMS to our location.
The EMS at Mill Bernie and 440. Officer down. Officer shots.
No, Sarge.
Call Oliver, 1533 and call Oliver. Officer shot. Get a EMS 1033. Alright, 1099 out of Oliver's. Automatic bag. See that? Again, EMS coming. Hey, guys on I-40, just be advised, that's that little dead-end service road that runs parallel to 540. So he can definitely make his way through the wood line and jump on that 540, so just be careful. Hey, this is Raleigh. Stand by. We need that address for EMS. 1533 McConnell Oliver Drive, Alpha Mill Bernie.
No.
1533. Copy. Signal 251533 McConnell Oliver Drive.
Hey, anybody got eyes on?
No. HP here. Provide cash back to the hospital. Do we have enough officers on 540 up towards Mill Bernie?
Make sure the backside of that's covered.
Yeah, you got officers out here. Alright, be advised. We do not know who the suspect is. He was in a barn, behind the barn, or a fence line. No direction of travel at this point. Hey, firm's going up. How urgent is that officer shot? We're going to try to move to the leg. Flying tourniquet. We're going to try and pull him on the backside of the field, and I'll try and get your coordinates here in just a second. You got an SAT? I make you court standing by.
No! No!
So just be advised, we have the service road locked down. We have not had anybody come out from where your shots fired came from. We need to start making arrangements. We think he may be in a building here. We need to start making arrangements for somebody to retrieve the bear. And we're probably going to have to pull the bear down the driveway to make an approach on this. Command, if you all can pinpoint exactly where we are on this field and start setting up a real tight perimeter on this. Dave, we're handling it now. The bonus is on the way with the armor.
See
it's
something?
headed to you right now.
Come from the tree right there.
It's 1533, right? I'm going to want a bear tap.
Where?
If we...
5 feet left. There you go, right there.
They're making...
I'm far. I'm right. Those lights are...
Cover! Cover!
Shots from?
Fuck.
All right, where's
That way.
Cover! Back further! Behind cover! Where's he hit?
Right knee.
All right, put his tourniquet on. Get a tourniquet on his right knee. Hurry up.
Right knee.
You're 440, have a stage. All struck in the leg. All right.
I'm good. It looked like it was straight that way.
All right. Give him the knee. All right.
It's not tight.
Okay. Hey, pull his pant leg up real quick. Are you hit anywhere else?
Knee is the only thing I know of.
All right. Let me get you two. We're going to start working with him to get the extraction out. Pull him a little bit further back. Casey, how we doing?
I'm nauseous, but I'm good.
You're going to be all right, brother.
I'm good.
I need some light, Kevin. Hold there. Yep.
I don't know that you're tight enough yet.
360.
There it is. Tighten that one up. Put this one on above it. Tighten that as tight as you can. It does not feel tight at all.
I got you, bro. Hey.
It's just my knee. It's fine.
All right. Here's what. Hold it up. Cover. You're not doing anything. Did you pull your pant leg up? No, not yet. All right. Is the wound below this?
It feels like my kneecap, lower kneecap.
All right.
It might have been a ricochet because it didn't feel like it was that big.
Right kneecap. How's it feel? Tight?
It's,
okay.
So, not as tight as I remember one.
I want y'all to
do me a favor, put one more.
One more. Get off of this. Here we go. Martin. All right, you reset it?
Here's what we're going to do. Y'all are going to pull him. While they're tending him, follow me real quick.
Hey, if someone just gets me up to my feet, I can go on one leg.
Yeah, jump to your feet. I got you. Give me a second, Casey. I'm getting this one nice.
You're fine. We're just chilling.
You got a tourniquet on? Put the second on. You need a third? I got one if you need it. Down. Down. You good?
Good.
Focus on me.
Yep.
You good?
Good. Yep.
All right. Where were you at?
Sucks.
Where were you at?
I was standing about 15 feet at a 45-degree angle from this, and it looked like it was coming directly that way.
Casey, your tourniquet, the second one.
Yep.
Good?
It feels pretty tight now. The knees could be tighter.
I'm good. Me and Staten are good. Raleigh officer shot. We're going to get an evac to him. All right. That's as tight as I can get that one. Here.
All right.
Take him. I'm staying. Hey.
Y'all gonna have to
take it off.
Get up. Hey, stop. Get underneath my arms, my armpits, and stand me up.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
We'll hang this right here.
Yep.
After engaging in a firefight with officers, Austin was eventually shot multiple times by them, once in the head. He was rushed to Wake Med after being critically injured, but has since been released and moved to a rehab facility. He'll eventually be moved to a jail when fully recovered. During the shooting, he was able to hit an officer, but his injuries were minor. It's said he's back on duty already. At this moment in time, the motive for the shooting is unclear, but given the fact that Austin survived, we'll learn more as time passes.